And hello, this is Mike Lodge. I am the business advisor, and thanks for joining me. Sorry about the quality of the picture. I cannot find my camera. It's packed away in boxes. I've only been in Las Vegas now for 3 months, and I have not packed all my boxes because I got to continue to work. I got to continue to focus on my clients. And right behind me, luckily, I have a screensaver up or whatever you call them. Right behind me are boxes upon boxes that I haven't gone through yet because one, I don't have the time, and secondly, I don't have the space. I have moved to a much smaller uh, unit, so that's life. I don't know about you, but I am literally politically fatigued. I am so sick and tired of it. I'm tired of all of the nonsense and the lies and the propaganda and media and everything else. It has gotten me to the point where I'm sick and tired of it. I'm literally sick and tired of it. But one of the things that is really pissing me off is the one side, I'm not going to say which side, but one side says that the tax reduction act that went through when President uh, uh, Trump was president said it's only going to the billionaires. He was only helping out the billionaires. That is so far from the truth. It is such a lie. Because I remember when that was passed in the first tax season, and people were saying, well, how come I'm not getting such a big refund this year? And the reason was because during that tax act, it reduced the payroll taxes, so you got more money into your payroll. You got more money. I think it was about $3,000 a year that you got more based upon the tax act. So it helped everybody in the United States because if you were a W-2 wage earner, you got a lot more back. The other thing that helped you, I mean, you got a lot more back through your wages, not through a tax refund. The other issue is that the standard deduction went zooming up there. It was so high and helped you so much that it pretty much wiped out uh, itemized deduction. Oh, excuse me. Dust is in the air. Anyway, it pretty much wiped out itemized deductions because the standard deduction went up so high. Helped you out tremendously. Now, what it did for the billionaires, yeah, there was more investment, there was more capital investment things that went on, there was more depreciation, there was all that sort of things that went on if you owned a business, which is what you wanted because you wanted to be able to hold those businesses in the United States. That's why so many businesses came back to the United States because of tariffs, a higher tariff on their products being made in China. And so a lot of that came back into the United States. And also the money was not taxed at a high rate that they were holding offshore. And that came back in the United States and it gave life to the economy. So when you hear these things from the other side, okay, let's just name them the Democrats, okay? When you hear this from the Democrats, it's really basically a lie because every single one of us, you and I, both benefited from that tax reduction act of President Trump. I know right now we're going through this political and presidential thing, and it's really bugging us because gosh, everything that's out there is pretty much a lie, and it's terrible. Now, the other thing that has come up within the last, well, probably 3 or 4 months is BRICS. Now, BRICS is BRIC and then an S, but BRICS stands for Brazil, India, Russia, and China. BRIC, and they are putting together their own currency. And this is a way that they are going to trade between each nation. So when they need to buy oil from Saudi Arabia, they'll use their BRICS account or their BRICS currency. And it's going to have a currency. We don't know exactly what it's going to do to the United States dollar at the moment, but I can guarantee you that it will devalue the dollar because now the United States dollar is no longer the strength that's out there that everybody's buying their commodities and their products and their clothing and their medical supplies and everything else, oil and gas. It's no longer. through the United States dollar. Now, the reason that they did this is very politically genius, okay? What has the United States been doing all this time? They have been sanctioning and they have been doing their tariffs. Now, the tariffs worked, and it was very beneficial. When Trump had it going, it was beneficial. The problem is now we've got BRICS, where they've got their own currency, where they can trade with each other freely. So the sanctions no longer work. So what do we have? We have all of these countries out there, and now North Korea wants to join BRICS, and there's rumors of about 30 other countries that want to join BRICS. BRICS just had their meeting in Russia this past weekend. And what does that do for Putin? Well, Putin becomes stronger. Putin has his own currency. He can trade with anybody. He can sell his oil. He can do whatever he wants. The sanctions have not worked against Russia because he has an alliance with all these other countries under the BRICS format. So, what is it going to do to the United States dollar? That is the main concern, and that is what these candidates have got to talk about. Because right now they're talking about tariffs and how tariffs work and everything, but will that change? Well, the answer is probably yes, it will change because now there's no the US dollar is no longer in control of these countries. They have their own currency, and they're working at it diligently because they don't want to be reliant upon the United States. So why did this happen? Well, it's because we have had a very silent United States government. You never hear the State Department talk about it. You never hear the president or the vice president talking about it because they don't know what to do about it. They don't understand it. They don't understand the economy, so they don't know what to do. They don't even know how to talk about it. I mean, if you listen to Kamala Harris, she has no idea what she's talking about when it comes to the economy. Everything that she has proposed is going to cost the American people. So when you don't understand what's happening out there in the world economy and also in the United States economy, you are going to, well, I almost used the F word. Okay, let's use another word. You are going to fail every single time. So what do we do? Well, we've got to come up with a new strategy. And that means we have got to have better diplomacy. We have got to be able to be willing to work with countries that we don't like, but we're going to have to deal with them. And listen, all of you guys out there saying, oh, well, Trump has all of these relationships with Russia and China and Korea. He had better have those relationships because the economy of the United States is based upon not only what happens in the US, but it also has to deal with what's happening out there in the world. And now we've got BRICS. And now we've got to think, is this going to affect us or is it not going to affect us? And I don't think that we've looked at this very well. And we need to start paying attention to what's going on out there. If you're in a small business, I hope that you are reading every single day. I hope that you are looking at what's out there in the economy and thinking, well, how is that going to affect my business? Even if you're a small business. Listen, there are the big corporations out there. They have people that are global strategists that are looking at what's going on. If you look at some of the pharmaceutical companies, they have people on their staff that are called economic strategists. In other words, if they are developing a new drug, they're looking at how it will affect in Singapore, how it will affect in China, how it will affect in Europe. They look at these things and look at the overall economic strategy of bringing out this new product or this new drug. Now, a lot of other companies do the same thing. You, as a small business, have got to do the same thing, but you have to do it on your own. You have got to listen to people who are out there talking about it. You've got to get a daily routine of looking at what's happening out there in the world economy and in the United States, what the politicians are saying, what their plans and policies are, or even if they have a policy. As you well know, we have one candidate out there that has no policy, zero policy. So there's nothing, and you wonder why Washington Post and also the Los Angeles Times will not endorse these people. It's because they don't have a policy. How can you endorse somebody if they don't have a policy? How can I endorse you if I don't know where you stand or what your plans are? So this is our biggest problem is if you don't have a policy to address these economic issues in the United States, then how the global markets will also impact us. And if we're not looking at it every day, and if we're not putting into plans of our own, either our cash management or our budgeting or whatever we're doing, or our marketing strategy, we have to look at that. We have to look at that now. In fact, right now it's October. You've got October, November. Well, you didn't even have much of October. You've got one week left. So you've got November, December to sit down and plan based upon your analysis of how you're going to run your business in 2024. Now, 2025, I mean. I can't even believe that we're at 2025. Remember at 2020, we were all running around with our heads cut off, wondering whether or not if we were all going to have our machines shut down because of the year change. They were not sure what was going to happen. What happened? Nothing. Nothing happened. So listen, we need to really, if you are a good business individual, a good small business operator, or even if you are a CEO of a major company, if you're not sitting down and talking about what the candidates are talking about, what their policies will bring you, and also what is going to happen within the United States economy, based upon these politicians, you have got to be very cautious in your approach to 2025, and you've got to operate your businesses very conservatively. So that's my vlog for today, blog or vlog or whatever you want to call it. I hope each and every one of you have a great day, have a good week. Let's talk some more about what's happening in the world economy and how it's going to affect our business throughout this week. Talk with you soon. God bless. Bye bye. I gotta put my glasses on because I don't know what button to push. So let me see. Here we go. And it is this one. Bye bye.